Today we're going to talk about solving story problems with adding. Hi boys and girls, today we're going to talk about story problems. This is math with Mrs. Thompson. I teach at Old Point Elementary School and I can't wait to talk to you about adding. So before we get started, let's do a little review about what adding is and what a story problem is. Go ahead and think in your brain about anything your teacher already talked to you about story problems and adding. Go ahead and think about what you already know. Wow, I bet you know so much. Your brain's probably full of ideas. But let's go over it in case you forgot. Our brains forget sometimes. So, on this page it says solving story problems. And it has the steps to follow to solve the problem. So let's look at step one. Step one is listen to the story. Yeah, what's the problem? You have to listen first, right? And figure out, how do I figure out that story problem? That's step one. Step two. Tell the story in your own words. You might have to describe the story out loud so you can understand it. Step three, solve the problem. You can act it out. These kids are acting out their problem. Draw pictures or use cubes. Now let's look at this. So it looks like the story problem was, if you have one kid here and 3 kids here, how many kids do you have? That's the story. All right, so let me say it again, and then you tell me the story in your own words. Ready? I have one little girl here, and I have 3 more kids over here. How many kids do I have standing on this wall? Now you do step 2. Tell the story to me in your own words. Let me hear you. Yes, very good. Now we have to solve that problem that you just said. Solve the problem. So these kids are acting it out. Or you could draw a picture. Look, they drew 3 kids here, 1 kid here. And then instead they used objects. They used cubes. They have 3 yellow cubes and 1 blue cube. Put them together and how many do you get? So what's our answer? How many kids are there? Yes, 4. Do you see how we got 4? Let's count the kids. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 plus 3 is 4. Let's look at this way. We have 3 and 1. Let's see if it's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that. So if you draw it, you get the same answer. Let's check the cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4. All these different ways, they all work. They're all strategies. That gives you the answer. And if you were going to write your answer, what would we write right here? Yes, we would write a 4. The answer is 4. Well, now that you know how to solve story problems, I'm going to read you a book. The whole book is a story problem. You're going to help me figure out the story problem and the answers. And get this, I'm not going to use real things, and you'll see why in a second when you see the book. I'm not going to use real live things, and I'm not going to draw it. I'm going to use objects. They're not cubes, but wait till you see what objects I use. Here we go. My book is called Mouse Count. Mouse Count by Ellen Stoll Walsh. She's the author and the illustrator of this book. Now look at this book. I see the mice, right? And what else do you see? A snake. Do you see why I'm not using real things? I'm not going to get some real mice and a real snake. That might be a little too scary. Who knows what would happen? But wait till you see what I do have. Here we go. Mouse Count. Look at those cute little mice. One fine day, some mice played in the meadow. They were careful to watch for snakes. Why do you think they're careful to watch for snakes? Yes, the snakes will eat mice right up. But when the mice got sleepy, they forget about snakes and they all took naps. While they slept, a hungry snake went looking for dinner. On his way, he found a nice, big jar. See my jar? Here's my jar. Kind of looks like his jar, doesn't it? Oh my goodness. I will fill this jar with dinner, he said. What kind of dinner, boys and girls? Yes, mice. Oh my gosh. It wasn't long before he found 3 mice, little, warm, and tasty, and fast asleep. First, I will count them, and then I will eat them up, said the snake. Mouse count. Now here's your job. You have to help me. How many did he say he found? 3. Here we go. Wait till you see what I have. 1, 2, 3. How many mice are in the jar? 3. Very good. All right. So he says 1, 2, 3. He dropped them into the jar, but he was very hungry. 3 mice were not enough. Soon he found 4 more mice, little, warm, and tasty, and fast asleep. And he counted them. Now, boys and girls, here's where the story problem is. Ready? We have 3 mice in this jar, and the snake found 4 more. How many mice is that going to be? Let's try to figure it out. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 mice that he found, right? Now, if we have 4 mice here and 3 mice here, how many mice is that? How many mice is that? Try to figure it out at home. What is 3 plus 4? Let's see if you were right. Oh, I hear the right answer. Let's see. Let's do it together. So we have 3. Put 3 in your brain, and then let's count. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you got 7, you were right. The story problem was 3 plus 4 makes 7. Very good. So how many mice are in the jar? 7, that's right. Now let's see what happens next. Here we go. So he did just what you just did. Watch. 4, 5, 6, 7. But the snake was very, very hungry, and 7 mice were not enough. At last, he found 3 more mice, little, warm, and tasty, fast asleep, and he counted them. Oh, I hear another story problem. Let's take a break right here. So he said he found how many more? 3, that's right. Let's figure it out. All right, back to our jar. How many are in here? Who remembers? Yes, did you say 7? Good, 7 mice are in this jar, and he found 3 more. Let's count 3 more. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, here's our story problem. What is it? You say it in your own words. Remember step 2? You tell the story. What's the story right here? Let me listen. Yep. Oh, I heard it. Yes, so the snake had 7 mice in a jar, and he found 3 more mice. How many mice is that? Yes, that's the story. And what's that answer? What is 7 plus 3? Did you figure it out? Let's see if you got it. Remember, 7 goes in your brain. And now let's count on. Let's add these mice to the jar. Here we go. 7, 8, 9, 10. Did you get 10? 7 plus 3 equals 10. Very good. So there's 10 mice in the jar. Let's see if that's enough for the snake. Remember, he said he was very hungry. All right, there we are. Let's see if he counts the same way we did. 8, 9, 10. Yes, we did it right. We got the same answer. 10 10 mice are enough. Now I'm gonna eat you up, little warm and tasty, said the snake. Look at those little mice faces. How do they look? Oh, they look so scared. Go ahead and make a prediction. Do you think he's gonna eat them all? Yes or no? Okay, I heard some yeses, and some people think they're gonna escape. Okay, let's see. Wait, said one of the mice. The jar isn't full yet. And look at that big mouse over there. Look. Well, the snake was very greedy. He hurried off to get that big mouse. And while he was gone, the mice rocked the jar one way and another way until over it went. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The little mice uncounted themselves and ran home. If you guessed that they were going to escape, you were right. The snake reached that big mouse, but it was only a cold, hard rock. And when he got back, the jar was empty. What did those mice do? They tricked him. They made him think that that was a mouse, but it was just a what? A rock. And that's the end of Mouse Count. Awesome. Do you see how we turned a book into a story problem? Did you even know that there were story problems in books sometimes? That one had 2 story problems in it. Actually more maybe, if you really want to try to think about it. You can make story problems at home. You can take cubes, people, you could use your family or your brothers and sisters or your cousins. You can draw pictures of story problems. You can use toys like I did. And you can make story problems. You can do all kinds of things. You can say, okay, I have 2 mice plus 1 mouse. What is that? 3. You can make story problems with anything at home. Stuffed animals, cereal, buttons, shoes, acorns outside, sticks. Math is everywhere, everywhere. You can do all kinds of story problems in your books or just make them up. But next time you're reading a book, look for some story problems. Next time you're at home or outside, think about a story problem you could make that way. I hope you had fun with our mouse count and all of our little mice. I'm glad I didn't have to have a snake in here, aren't you? That would have been scary. Now, don't forget, math is everywhere. Bye.